Derek White with the lockdown D. Every game feels like history. Highlights, reaction, all season long. Your Celtics source with the intro song. Big takes, play-by-play and analysis. Sit back and relax, you don't want to miss.
What's up, everyone, and welcome in to your Celtics source, home of your second seed Boston Celtics. We all know now that the Celtics will be playing the Orlando Magic in round one. They beat the Atlanta Hawks 120-95 on Tuesday to survive. The Hawks will now play the Heat for that last play-in spot to play the Cavs. But I'll start with you, Dad. Any immediate things that stand out about the series against Orlando?
Yeah, I'll tell you about this series with Orlando. This is going to be goofy. And I'm getting dizzy already thinking about it. Like this is not even a contest. I think it's an opportunity. I mean, good team, but no chance against the Celtics. I'd like to see them play some of the bench guys. You know, maybe get some minutes to not to start, but make sure I don't want them to overtax Jaylen. I don't want Tatum to play 42 minutes. I want them to, take a lead, strong lead, and make sure the other role players get time so that they can go the distance. So I think it'll be fun to watch. There's no contest here.
Well, I mean, Orlando is rated or was the second best defense in the league this year, or maybe the third best defense, one of them. But they have an atrocious offense.
They can't score.
I think they ranked 27th in scoring and 28th in three-point shooting.
That's right.
So if the Celtics are able to have like a three-point shooting contest, they're going to win this easily because just the math doesn't add up. If they're taking twos and the Celtics are taking threes, it's not going to work.
Well, so great question. If you want to can you outscore them, or do you got a top-notch clamps D? What's your better chance? I don't think they have too many shooters for the D to work. I mean, you have to have good enough D. I feel like. What do you think?
I think you just turn up the physicality. Like they're one of those teams that are just gonna foul the heck out of you, and refs are never gonna call that. Refs are never gonna call that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, listen, it'll be fun. This is a no contest, right? Like, not trying to be disrespectful of the Magic, but like there's no realistic way that the Magic even win a game here, right? Now, you never know. That's why you play the games. But come on,
right? If the Celtics go cold from three, or the Magic
they could drop a game.
The Magic take away their three-point shooting. They can pull out a win just on sort of grit.
I'm not saying it's a sweep, though I think it will be. But one game is not going to win you the series. Like, come on. Like they can, as we know, the Celtics can drop a game to anybody once on, at any time. But
yeah,
best of seven. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something here because you're getting a little blurry. Let's see if that works. Maybe not, but I'm wondering if if the Magic find a way to they're gonna double Tatum. They're gonna, because that's the kind of defense they do. They're gonna throw two at Tatum. If Tatum, he's been better as of recently, but if he gets into one of those where he's yelling at the refs, it has happened before where he's not getting any of the calls. Because I'm telling you right now, the Orlando plays just like a Magic team. They're just gonna slap your arm every time. They're gonna hit you when you're going up, and they're not gonna get calls. So
I think that's a good point. I wonder if Tatum, again, we're Boston fans, but Tatum doesn't get the calls that other guys get. Maybe he will at some point, but he doesn't today. Maybe this is a good opportunity for him to take those fouls and turn the other cheek, right? You can't spend all your time yelling at the ref under the basket while the other team plays 5-on-4, right? So, maybe, and I think he's gotten better. at this, part of his elevation of his game this year. But you're right. He's got to know when the right time to yell at the ref is, not in the middle.
Right.
So I think the other thing, too, that'll be really interesting to see is how does Jaylen Brown look, right? Does he look gimpy?
Mm-hmm.
Does he look strong? How's that knee holding up?
Yeah. I feel like, you could, like, maybe you rest Jaylen Brown or you play him in game 1, and then if it's an easy win, you maybe sit him for the final 2 if you win the first 2, maybe something like that. That is an interesting thing. He did take, injections to, sort of help,
Yeah.
not the swelling, but just the feeling, right? The
Pain, I think.
The pain mostly. According to the Celtics, he went through practice in full and did a full workout with the team or whatever. We don't the media doesn't get to see that stuff, so
Right.
who knows if they're telling the truth. Joe Mazzulla has had a history of saying everything's fine and then it's not fine, right? A very Bill Belichick sort of style.
That's playoff sports, right? He's okay. You don't want to tell
the media anything.
I know, but you don't want the other team to know that his right knee hurts. They're going to take advantage of that. You don't want to know he's got a bruised rib. You know what? They know what's going on. They have a plan, presumably, and that's their business. And we just, as fans, have to sort of suck it up and guess what's happening. I think that's why you got to watch the game. I want to see how he moves, right? I want to see, is he feeling it? Does he have that same energy? Is he defending at that high level?
Right.
Is he jamming from the free throw line, or is he just a little tentative? Is he a little off the ball a little bit? And that's what I want to watch for.
I think based on the injections, he's going to come out strong, and he's going to be fine. He might wear off as the series goes on. That's my thinking. But I think
my guess is, if, again, not a doctor, but we're on the internet, so I can play one. If he got a cortisone injection, which is the most common kind of injection into to relieve pain in a joint.
Look it up.
I don't think they said what it was, to be honest. But that'll last, 3 months plus, 3 to 6 months. So
I think it was one of those long. Let's see. It just says pain management injection.
Exactly. No, they didn't. I looked. They didn't say what it was, which I think is again,
obviously
very Bill Belichickian, if you will, right? Because as soon as you say what the medicine is, then everybody does the analysis about what's wrong with the knee, and so whatever. We'll just. I think we'll give it the eye test.
Yeah. I think it's clear Jayson Tatum has to be the key to every series.
Yeah.
It's not gonna matter as much in this one, but going forward, it has to be. I think it's Jayson Tatum and Kristaps Porzingis are the 2 most important.
That's a good call. I'd like to see them I'd like to see Tatum come out and run the offense from the first possession, right? We don't want to be rounding into top form. We want to come out and be dominant, doing it right on, up by 18 at the end of the half and we win by 22 or something, So I think you're right on all that. I'm kind of more interested to see I think all that stuff is the right stuff. How strong will Jaylen be? How does Tatum look as he runs the offense? Make sure Kristaps doesn't get injured. I would play Cornet, more minutes to protect Porzingis to when you need him.
I think this series goes in 4 or 5. We can do actual predictions in a second, but my biggest worry is the physicality, injuring a player or bruising the team that come future rounds, it hurts the Celtics. We saw last year, pretty much the same Orlando team. They took Cleveland to 7. Everyone played in that Cleveland series, and they were so banged up from that series that Jared Allen, Donovan Mitchell, all of them went down in that Celtics series because they just couldn't get through that 7-game series.
And I think the Celtics understand all this, and I think they're smart about it. So that's why I kind of want those guys to go up big and then play
And then they
sparingly
could
in the
sit.
second half, right?
Right.
Like, I don't care if Kata gets minutes. I don't care if Shireman's getting minutes. Like, okay, you got to keep the lead at 10, 12, 14, something, right? But like, I would rather see, the starting five have 30 minutes of time in the game or 27 minutes of time in the game, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to risk an injury against the Magic.
Right.
That's me. Now, Joe Mazzulla, I text him all the time. He never responds.
Yeah.
So,
Round one, so it's not like you're going to be getting the 45 minutes from each play, like the starters.
yeah,
There's going to be a lot of, not saying Peyton, like obviously Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett, they're going to play every series. But
yeah.
I think you are going to get, even in game one of this series, you're going to get Shireman in game one. You're going to get
I think
other guys in game one of the first round against a 7th seed.
I think you are if
It's
you're up by 20 or more for a whole quarter. Like, if you're going up and down, they're
right.
going to run it tighter. If you run it up and you're up 20 and you stay
And
up
you
20
hold
for
it.
18 minutes,
Mhm.
like those guys are gonna be feathered in, I think, pretty fast. I would
Yeah.
hope.
It's not like the West where like the gap between the 1 seed and the 8 seed, not in terms of record, but it's nothing. It doesn't matter what seed
It's
you
a
are.
rock fight.
All matchup.
It's a rock fight.
It's all matchup.
Yeah.
Second time in the last 30 years that a 7 seed, Golden State is favored against a 2 seed, the Rockets. They are a -2. A 7th to a 2nd seed, and Golden State is a -2. That is ridiculous. That should not happen.
Would you bet against playoff buckets and, Curry? No. Like, you just can't. You just can't
Playoff
bet.
bucket, you call him
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. I mean, because
I wouldn't bet against him, but like the
Houston's a
Rockets are
great
very much
team,
like
but like,
the Rockets are very much like the Magic, that they're a defensive team that
yeah.
doesn't have much offense. At least they're not like the Magic, who are 27th in the league. I mean,
Yeah.
like you should see some like. It's funny because Orlando could be streaky, so that's what I'm worried about. Like we saw against that Hawks game where the Hawks were up like a good amount in that first half, and then you know the Hawks get cold. Um, Orlando's defense a little bit stops them, but then Orlando went on this run that the Hawks just fell apart. Trae Young actually gets ejected in that one,
Yeah.
complaining about the
I mean,
refs.
that's just total frustration, and that's
Yeah,
fine, whatever.
I mean, I think the quicker you stop the Orlando run, the easier it's going to be, because they don't have many of those runs because they just
Yeah.
cannot put the ball in the basket. So
Yeah.
if you can stop their run and that's their 1 or 2 runs that they have, you're going to win that game because
Well, you bring up a really interesting point, I think, and I know we've talked about this before in our off-air show, a little bit, which is, if you look at Joe Mazzulla from the start of last year,
I don't know what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying. The off-air show, just when you're yapping. So
Yeah.
you look at Joe Mazzulla from the start of last year to the end of last year to now, and he is so much better managing timeouts.
Oh yeah.
We talk about the growth of Jayson Tatum. We talk about the growth of Luke Cornett. We don't talk a lot about Joe Mazzulla is rounding into a really good coach, even on a really good team. I know he's got such talent.
It's crazy, but like, right, Joe Mazzulla, we saw these 2 coaches get fired in the last month or so of the season,
Yeah.
last couple of weeks actually, right? And Joe Mazzulla in an interview the other day said throughout that slump in January, he was telling the coaching staff, if we don't fix this right away, we're gone. Like, it doesn't matter whether you're a good coach or not. Michael Malone was in Denver for 12 and a half years. His kids went through high school and everything, and now,
Yeah.
he's out of a job. I mean,
It's what have you done for me lately?
yeah, there's plenty of openings this year. The Suns getting rid of, the
Bull, God, I can never get.
Pelicans, I think maybe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams that have gone just, so.
Yeah. But I think, again, sure, that can happen, but I think I think we should give Mazzulla credit for, he's kind of a goofy guy. I love that about him. And I really, you got to respect the growth of the coach as well. Yes, you have had for 2 years straight the best team in the NBA, arguably, but still, most guys would then coast, right? If you've got the best team, you don't need to become the best coach.
Right.
But he hasn't done that. He has accelerated and grown. And I think people don't talk about it that much. I think we just spend a lot of time talking about the players.
I mean, he hates that Coach of the Month award. He says it should be not
Yeah.
like he said, like coaching staff of the month or team of the month.
Well, because he gets it right. Like it's a team game. Yeah,
Yeah.
you need stars, but it's a team sport. Coaching is a team sport and playing is a team sport. One of the reasons why Joe Mazzulla has gotten so much better is because of the coaches around him, right? Because
Right.
Sam Cassell and guys like that, they make him better. It's a team sport. So my prediction, I mean, I'm just going to be honest. Celtics sweep this in 4. And it's
Yeah.
it's only even close for about 9 minutes in 2 games.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
It's, it's funny because last year, right, we won in 5 games in the first 2 series or whatever. I think, 5 games for the first 2 series. The hardest series we played was that Pacers series for the Eastern Conference, even though that was the series we swept, which is kind of ironic.
Yeah, but it could have easily been 6 games there. Should have maybe been 6 games.
Easily with that heroics by Jaylen Brown, whatever.
Yeah.
But
So that's my prediction. I think we win in 4. Nightmare scenario, win in 5, and hopefully we get a couple extra days of rest there, just to
Well, there's 2 days off between the first game and the second game. It's not just.
Which I hate. They drag it out so much. It's like, guys, we're gonna be. I love basketball. We'll be watching it for 6 more months now until like July. Come on, like let's go. Like
Well,
you made me suffer. You made me suffer through a lot of regular season games. Let's go.
Like literally nobody could care less about any of the 82 games we played.
No, there were some great games. Like you and I went to the OKC game, and that was great.
Sure.
The Lakers game was great. There's great games, but like the last 2 Pelicans games, like we don't need to watch those games. We did, but we don't need to be watching those games. So the playoffs are here. I'm talking to you, Adam Silver. I know you're a big fan and subscriber.
Adam Silver has some interesting things about next year, media, how games are going to be streamed.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot more free games on your personal devices instead of cable because their audience,
kind of
it's
thing.
a young audience. It's mostly guys, people under 30 that are watching the NBA right now.
Well, I know one guy under 30 who's going to like that.
So like, listen, and most people are not subscribing to cable right now. So they're going to do a lot more like alternate cast, like
like the Manning cast kind of stuff for the NBA.
Yes, but more of like if you have an account or whatever, you can stream the games with your friends and talk, like watch the games together, like commentate for each other, like basically like playback.tv sort of thing. Like
I like that.
So a lot more like, on your iPhone and stuff like that, because most people are not sitting in front of a TV, whatever.
Yeah.
But,
I do think basketball is really hard to watch on a phone, to be honest. It's like
it is.
It's one of those things that's like kind of gotta have a bigger screen, but I think that would be interesting. That's a topic for another day. So my call: Celtics in 4 with 3s.
I'm gonna
2
go
more rounds.
Yeah.
Until the
I'm
one.
gonna go 4, and I'm gonna take it a little bit farther.
Okay.
They're gonna hold the Magic under 100 points in 3 of those 4 wins.
I subscribe to that. I think that's right.
Remember how I said like the Magic couldn't even score 100 points against the Celtics bench when we played 3 days ago? Like, it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's to your point. That's the bottom of the East versus the difference in the bottom of the West.
I mean, they would be a better team if they stayed healthy, I think. They got injured halfway through the season, lost a lot of games there. But
every team would be a better team if they stayed healthy. Yeah. That's part of you see it in every sport. Baseball, 162 games. football, so physical, basketball. Staying healthy is you can't win if your team doesn't stay healthy, period. Just can't ever. So all right. Well, this is good. We will probably touch base again soon after we have some results in.
Yeah, if you want, you can join. We'll be doing a live stream for or a live reaction after the game on Sunday. If you want to join, we can do that. I think it'll be around 6, so that is sort of your dinner time. So
it's going to be a little later because we're going to be on the other side of the Atlantic, I think.
Where are you guys going?
Portugal.
Oh, you guys are going to Portugal for Easter?
Well, we're doing this. We'll talk about it off air. That's the off air show.
Fair enough.
So, all right. Well, let me get a go C's. Come on. Go C's. Go
Two big
C's.
C's.
Two big C's.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. As I said before, game reaction on Sunday. Maybe you'll have another person joining me. We'll see. Maybe. But until next time, go Celtics.
Go Celtics. Let's win it all. 19.
It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured.